Good afternoon, everyone. David Dubine here. Thank you for spending your valuable time with the Adapt 2030 channel. Rolex 2020, that's your gas meter. How valuable. Finland, not normal. Hopper snacks, the new food craze. Blackrock working on Bitcoin products. BTC here to stay. Been price increases due to circumstances. Now, what circumstances would that be? Durum wheat across the United States down 22% from a year ago. Southern plains like the wheat belt averaging 20 to 30 bushels an acre when it should be 52. And U.S. food crops experiencing a global shortage. Everything's culminating. A wave of changes across the globe. Are you ready for it? Because it's going to encompass all of us. And starting you off here with a beautiful image of what should be lush and verdant fields, amber waves of grain, before the purposeful fertilizer, herbicides, and pesticide shortages. There have been price increases to the original menu due to the circumstances. Gee, what would those circumstances be, store owner? Because let's jump back to May. Proposals to incentivize increased U.S. ag production due to Black Sea embargoes. And reading through the article, I came on this mysterious paragraph here. Incentivize $500 million for domestic food production of U.S. food crops experiencing a global shortage due to Black Sea conflicts. Now, I didn't know there was a global shortage of U.S. food products, which is mysterious, the wording of this. So then you add on and you say, fast forward to July 5th, all the old wheat stored in America, down 22% from a year ago. And if you look at the on-farm stocks or things held on the farm in those silos that you see when you're driving through farm country, that's down 34% from last year. I said, well, that's really interesting. What is all wheat? Well, let's break it down. Durum wheat, the stuff you love for pastas. Old crop durum wheat, all the durum wheat from last year, down 20, wait a second, down 22%? And for me, it's kind of baffling how both of those numbers match at exactly 22%. Really? That's just like they're throwing numbers out there in the air. So we'll see where it goes. Word on the street is a lot of that grain is not for delivery because it hasn't passed USDA inspection. It's moldy. There's problems with it. With the corn, there's black corn, phytosanitary, not able to bring it even into the animal food market. So they're waiting for Chinese consolidators to come by and buy anything, and then they'll scrape the bin bottoms and sell it out to China. So whatever you see here in the numbers, it's a little misleading. Yeah, there is that much. But there's not that much of it that's fit for human consumption or animal feed. You need to slash a third off of that. That's where we get into the real numbers. So it's truthful. The amount is there. But the usable amount, they're forgetting that category. So you could add in a whole other column and that would significantly skew those numbers into, Houston, we got a huge problem. And off the U.S. Wheat Associates, the weekly harvest report here, July 8th, crop conditions, drought-stricken southern plains. That is what we know as the wheat belt of America. The yields are 20 to 30 bushels an acre, and it's trending toward 20. But the average would be 50 to 52 bushels per acre. So you could see significant declines of at least 50% off the wheat in America. And they are not talking about. This is a story that is not going to get any legs in any mainstream media. And while we're talking about food, a quick message from the sponsor of this video. Weight management is a universal struggle. After we turn 20, the struggle becomes more difficult. That's because our body's metabolism slows by as much as 4% per decade. The keto diet has an extensive list of health benefits for healthy metabolism, heightened energy levels, and increased mental clarity and focus. That's why I highly recommend this amazing keto powder. It works to increase the level of ketones in your body without ever needing to be on a keto diet. And the best thing about it is it comes with free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life and a free e-report titled The Top 14 Ketogenic Foods. And if you want to support your healthy metabolism for the next 24 hours, take 51% off your order by going to adaptwithketo.com. Free shipping, money back guarantee. That link's in the description box below. And now on with the video. So on a global level versus just what U.S. production is, let's swing back to April when the International Rice Research Institute was warning of at least 10% slash in harvest on global production for rice. That is a game changer in itself. And reports out of China are none too kind on their production, so look for even higher percentages than 10%. Could be trending toward 15%. We'll know in just a few more months. Corn's not looking good either. So off of AgFacts, let's pull you back to May again. The proposal is to incentivize U.S. production. So they're going to use that $500 million, they're going to use $100 million of it to incentivize double crop soybean rotation slash production. And that's going to do nothing because there's already a massive shortage of fertilizer, herbicide, pesticide, and diesel fuel prices are at record highs. So how are you going to double rotate something in there if you don't have the inputs to get it in there? See, another misleading, oh, it's going to be great, 2 crops of soybean. Well, they can barely even squeak out 1 crop because of all the farm inputs that are not there at the volume they need to be for this year. So you see how it's going back. April, they were talking about rice shortages around the world, and that number has moved from 10 to 15% now. And they're looking at soybean, corn, and now wheat. Massive, gargantuan problems. Oh, it's a little trickle. It's hopeful it's not going to be that bad into massive, brace for impact from just those few months moving forward. Look at that swing. April, May, June, July, and 4 months later, we're into a cataclysmic forecast here of tripling food prices for the average consumer. And you're just supposed to go, oh, gee, you didn't know about that? Oh, somebody should have done something about it. Why didn't you warn us about that? Didn't you know about that? They're stringing you along. And even just a couple weeks ago during the United Nations Food Security meeting, they were saying worst famine in the history of the earth is coming. Now, that's in debate there because the younger dryas impact that wiped out 90% of the animals across the planet probably caused a little bit bigger famine than that. Just saying. But global hunger crisis inbound. Solutions abound. There's a problem, there's a crisis, there's a reaction, there's a solution right here. Future goods, future foods. The trend we all love, hopper ballets. These are actually grasshopper snacks. Meatballs slash grasshopper balls. It's hard to describe these things with this new little hoppers. How do you even substitute something? Okay, I know a meatball. But a grasshopper ball, oh, they want to shorten hopper balls. Okay, I'll play. Great, looks snacky. Do you deep fry those? Oh no, we don't have any vegetable oil. Sorry, you can't even deep fry them. You need to pan fry them with no oil. Get used to it. The crunchiness will be awesome. And that's what they're trying to do, swing you over into all these alternatives. And the real questions really need to be asked, like how much of this is purposeful plug pulling to enter into the new era? You know, the Guidestones went down the other day. That was a signal flare. Started up. Got the PSA coming out of New York for the whatever, thermo something above New York. Boom. Stay inside. Just tune on your radio. Wash your clothes. Don't ever leave your house. Only listen to what the authorities have told you. Then you can make a move. Can't do anything without listening first. You need a pre-approval if you want to leave or whatever. Same thing with this bugs. Like really you're going to pan fry stuff with no oil, and that's the direction they want to take it. Like really all of this stuff is a purposeful reset. And at what point do people wake up and say, yo, I want some answers? Well, it sure seems like a few countries are taking that initiative in their own hands. Sri Lanka. Few solutions here for you. These are comments that come off some of the videos. If they're talking about food, I like to save those into my own file, but I'm going to start rolling it into the videos now. So I was talking about growing sweet potato and harvesting the sweet potato just for the leaf. Keep in mind there's 2 varieties. There's the one that has 3 spikes on the leaf. Those are no good. They're too tough. But the ones that are more heart-shaped of the particular type of sweet potato, you can eat that leaf as a fresh veg as the potatoes are growing underground. Well, also, Ricky says the leaves of beetroots are delicious. So as you're growing beetroot, you can also trim off a few leaves to be able to create fresh greens with that. And then Kat says, yep, they're 10 times better than spinach and taste way better. So put beetroots on your grow list because you can get some fresh veg while it's coming to the final product. And I'm growing broccolini. I mentioned it in the video, and somebody else chimes in and says, while they're growing broccolini, they also pull some of the young supple leaves off while broccolini's coming to its maturation for harvest. Great. Like, look at all these different ideas for growing green leaf for nutrient content while you're trying to get the main crop. So you're getting a bonus as you're growing it. But one thing made me laugh when I saw this one here, Rolex 2022. That's a gas meter in Europe. That's how expensive energy prices are going to get for the winter heating season. And that's a great meme. I love it. It's a natural gas meter in Europe, or electrical meter. Now here in the States, we could just substitute that out with the gas off the pumps at the petrol station or your gasoline station. Plug it right in. That'll fit too. You could probably do a little sign off or a price tag off of a supermarket shelf somewhere too. Just plug it right on there. And we could do that endlessly with all these price rises and the inflation, the purposeful destruction of economies. There's an endless meme. You just keep plugging things in where your daily prices are getting super, super expensive. Rolling off to Blackrock, working on Bitcoin products. So you know BTC is here to stay. Global head of exchange traded funds tells us, otherwise known as ETFs. Salim Ramji, global head of the ETFs. And I like the bottom sentence. BlackRock continues to study cryptocurrencies and ways to make it easier and more accessible for investors, meaning there is a basket, a handful, at least they tell you right there, 41 of them shall remain out of the 20,000 that exist now. I would say Bitcoin, not financial advice, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Digibyte, Stellar Lumens, and the list will go on. Now, speaking of weirdness and unusual sightings, jump over to Finland. And this says it alone here. How many vortices do we have coming out of a single front there? That's very unusual to have this many waterspouts off of one single storm or one front coming in. So I thought, where is this? Stones are a little bit cooler looking. Off of Greenland, so is it, I'm not sure. Nordic Scandinavian country? Sure enough. Coming out of Finland. So then I entered in the Finnish version because I don't know any Finnish. And the English translation over the weekend, spectacular sea level thrombosis, meaning waterspouts pass through the sea area between Piamma and Kustavi. And there shall be signs. That is but one. And this one's out of Kyrgyzstan. Some hikers, suddenly the glacier broke free. It was a mix of water and ice. They thought they were safe watching this, that it would peel off around them and split around the valley. Just like we're today thinking some areas investments, some areas you live in the world are safe, that this reset is going to pass you by. At what point do you realize, oh no, it's not passing us by, and whoa, it's going to come directly over us and encompass our countries, our nation, our economies, our ways of life? And at what point do you duck for cover and finally take some action for survival? Because it's undeniable right now what is happening. And just like that video, how far along do you think the reset is coming down the mountain? I think we're at about the last 2 seconds where it's coming over our heads. Right now. That's me though. And that's why you may want to think about storable foods. 3-month emergency food supply. Save $150. Use the link in the description box below. Food with ADAPT 2030. Right along with my Patriot supply. Food's going to be a necessity. It's a great way to support the channel so I can bring you more research like this. And no BS assessment. No later than September. We're all going to be immersed in this. So you still have a couple more weeks to get ready. Not even months. Best of luck, and I'll see you next video.